Hello and welcome to the Beyond the Hustle podcast. My name is Lydia and I'm a mindset and business coach for high-achieving entrepreneurs. In this podcast, I share insights into how you can create a life of freedom, happiness, and personal fulfillment while increasing financial success way beyond what you have achieved with hustle alone so far. Plus, every other week, I interview inspiring and out-of-the-box thinking entrepreneurs. Have fun and enjoy. Hello and welcome to today's episode, which is that one shift within you which will guarantee only amazing customers and clients. I know it's a big claim, and let me explain. So, that's a typical scenario, I guess, for every entrepreneur, for every business owner out there, that you sometimes might have customers and clients. You could also say employees, like you have people you're not super happy with. And then it's always the question, what can you do to change that? Because most people think you cannot change that. It's, like people come to you and people are people, so you cannot change people, which is true. But you can change something in yourself that makes basically more and more people come to you, which are exactly the kind of people that you want, and less up till none of these that you don't like so much. So what is this one shift? Pretty simple, a little bit more difficult for most people to implement because otherwise they would have only amazing customers only already. So the one big shift is that you start focusing on what is amazing in your current customers and clients right now, and that you start looking for that in your imagination and in your reality. So one thing is to obviously create clarity in yourself. What do you exactly want? What kind of people do you want around you? What kind of customers and clients do you want around you? Like, instead of just seeing what is negative, take the time to, for example, write down the negatives and then the opposite. What do you want instead? So if they are not on time, I want clients who are always on time, or perhaps even more punctual than I am. They are always, like in our meetings or in our live meetings, they are always early and just wait there patiently for me. Or you want people who are very self-sufficient, but right now you have people who are very needy and reach out to you every 5 minutes or whatever. And then what do you want instead? So yeah, you can gain clarity from what you don't want, but don't stop there. Write down and gain clarity on what it is that you actually want. Because when I listen to my clients, for example, sometimes I get a very long rant about what is not good, how they don't like it as it is at the moment. I'm waiting patiently, looking for what do you want instead, and it's not coming. They are so focused on what is not okay, what is not right. They can't even paint a picture of what they want instead. All their mental, but also almost like physical energy goes into what they don't want. And with telling that story over and over again, they basically make it stronger and stronger, and they create more of that in their reality. So the first shift for you is to gain clarity on what you want instead, and then start talking about that reality and start dreaming big and using phrases like, wouldn't it be nice if? Wouldn't it be nice if all my clients show up on time? Wouldn't it be nice if all my clients are even more punctual than I am? Wouldn't it be nice if my clients were extremely self-sufficient? Wouldn't it be nice if my clients or my employees or whatever you're working with are self-starters and they really see what needs to happen and they do this without me even telling them? Wouldn't it be nice if my clients implemented everything when they hear it once? Wouldn't it be nice if my clients remembered everything I told them and started implementing that from the go? So start with this kind of language. Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't this be amazing? Wouldn't that be cool? And gain clarity on what you actually want. How do you want it to be? That's what's happening in your imagination. And then start pointing out the things that are already amazing in your current clients, employees, or customers right now. There will always be something. There is not one single person where you cannot find something that is positive about them, especially if it's your clients. Because if you only have horrible clients, then oh my goodness, how did you manage to create that? But, it could just be if nothing in their character is nice. Find something. Perhaps they are wearing nice dresses, whatever. Like, you will always find something to appreciate about another person. And then vigorously, start focusing on that and holding that in your mind. At the same time, of course, have your boundaries. What I'm not telling you to do is to only see the good and let them trample all over you or something. No, have your boundaries. How do you want to show up? How would you show up with amazing clients and customers? What would your behavior be in that? And then start doing that now. I have a little story for you. I have my DeFi group, Beyond the Hustle and DeFi Freedom, where I speak about decentralized finance and how you can basically outpace the inflation that we have and make so much more money and get into this very new field. If you want to get in, the link is in the show notes. And also I have an offer. I do single sessions for people who want support in that and getting started. They probably have, 20, 30, 40K sitting around in their savings. And that means you're losing half of it, basically, just from 2019 to 2022. What was worth then 10,000 is worth something like 3,000 now. So if you have money sitting around in savings accounts and you have not done anything besides that, reach out to me and I can tell you what we do in the single session, how I can help you to get started, help you to get an overview, give you some ideas what would, based on your desires, on your risk levels, on your feelings, so to say, what would be a good starting point for you. No financial advice. So I had this group for, 2 or 3 months now. And at some point I was very annoyed about people not being active in there and people just sitting around, not doing anything. And then I had to ask myself, okay, what are you focusing on, Lydia? What is your point of attraction at the moment? You're focusing not on the few people that are amazing in there. You're focusing on some random people that you perhaps don't even know and how they are not behaving in the way that you want. How do you actually behave? How do you show up? How do you talk to them? I got a little bit into this convincing mentality. I had to convince them that DeFi is good or this investment is good or this one not or whatever. There were 3 or 4 people in there that I just adored in the way how they took things into their own hands and got started and were enthusiastic and all, asking questions and implementing stuff. I was thinking to myself, if this group of 40 people was full of these people, how would I interact? How would I show up? Not like I was showing up them. I would not have this inner need to convince anyone or do something or be a certain way. I would just show up in a very different way. So I started showing up in that way, being much blunter, and I still have way to go. I can still grow with that group. It's not perfect or so, anything like that. Just to show you that happens to me as well, that I can see me focusing on 2, 3, 4 people that don't show up in the way that I want, and then basically making it all about them. Instead of focusing on these amazing people in there that are also in there and making it all about them. And you know what? Once I shifted more into what do I want? Can I appreciate what is already there of what I want? While still implementing boundaries for myself, how do I show up? And for other people, how do other people show up? If they show up a certain way, they can't stay in the group, for example. Or I tell them, this is not what I want in here. Please change that or whatever, boundaries, of course. The group energy started to shift and people started showing up that hadn't interacted before. So this is my own example of how you can shift your customers and clients into these people that you actually want to attract. You start behaving as the person you would be if you had only these customers and clients. And you start focusing on every positive thing you can find with your current clients, and you start imagining having these amazing clients already. It is super simple, but it really takes the time of you to convince your own mind to do things differently. We are so quickly again moving into old patterns of finding the not so good. You know, our brains were wired for survival. They were not wired for happiness. So if you want to now not focus so much on survival anymore, because survival is very much guaranteed as much as possible in our society. There is no wolf going to kill you. There is no other big tribe coming to like hunt you down or something. And all the rest is like you cannot make yourself. You cannot, like you just have to live your life. You cannot get rid of all the circumstances that might kill you, so to say. So our brains, we don't need the wiring for survival anymore. But this is almost hard-coded into us. And now to shift into acting from a base of happiness is a huge shift, and it takes time. So give yourself that time, but practice. Refocus again on what would make me happy. What would be the amazing clients and customers? And you can see this in a matter of days and weeks shift in front of your eyes. But it takes the constant refocus and recalibration of yourself and your focus. So that's it for today. That's the one shift. You start seeing the good that already is there in your clients. You start behaving as the person you would behave with only amazing clients around you, and you let your imagination work for you as well. And go into daydreaming, go into scenarios that excite you, that light you up. And again, if you want to join my group, the link is in the show notes. And if you want personal support, I do single sessions to get people started. And yeah, just reach out to me, send me a message, and then I can give you all the information. Much love to you, and until the next episode. Did you like this podcast episode? Then please share it with people who you know could benefit from it. Also, I would be super grateful if you could leave me a 5-star rating and review on iTunes. It would mean such a lot to me. If you want to stay connected with me, please join my Telegram channel for daily mini reminders around mindset, business growth, investing, and living life to the fullest. Or message me directly on Instagram or LinkedIn. You will find all the links in the show notes. Thank you for listening, and until the next episode. Much love, Lydia.